Sam Wilson is Captain America. I don't care if you're racist or Steve Rogers' dwelling self cannot accept that. That is the truth, and he did an amazing job in this movie and in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is he Steve Rogers? No. But to me, this movie and his Disney Plus series just proves that he doesn't need to be. Sam getting the shield is literally comic accurate, so what are you complaining about? But Bucky had it first. Boo-hoo, grow up. Anyway, let's talk about the movie. Was this movie amazing? Hell nah. It was quite messy at times, but we're gonna get into that. But to say that this was a bad movie is an absolute lie. First off, one thing that I noticed straight away was the massive difference in fighting styles between the Captain Americas. Some would say that it was sluggish or even poorly coordinated, but I genuinely thought that that was on purpose, to show us as the viewers the difference between fighting with the super serum versus being a regular nigga. And we saw Sam struggle in this movie at times, but for the most part he held it down. That display of confidence was inspiring. One thing I hated was how the movie kept feeling the need to explain themselves to the people who didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Man, somebody tell this clown I'm not watching no damn TV show to understand this movie. Oh, that's how you feel? Tell me, did you or did you not watch damn near the entirety of the MCU before you watched Endgame? What a brainless argument. The TV show was meant to serve as a prequel to the movie, but since a lot of y'all couldn't be bothered to watch it, they felt the need to explain the story of the show every 20 minutes or so, it felt like. Maybe that's a pet peeve, but it just bothered my lady and I when we were watching it. Another thing that bothered me was that the villains were really cool, but their screen time was cut short as f***. So much to the point that I don't even remember one's name. And I was invested every time Giancarlo Esposito's character was on the screen. He could kick the yams out of Captain America, and his personality seemed quite brutal. A very underestimated and underutilized villain indeed. So much to the point where I don't want to spoil the type of timing he was on. But then randomly, during the movie, he just disappears. He gets arrested, yeah, but his character does not give off the vibe like he'd be so easily enchained. Especially due to what he said to Cap before he dipped out of the movie forever. And another villain was cut from the movie completely. R.I.P. Seth Rollins. I hope there's a director's cut, cause if not, they got you fitted up for nothing. Harrison Ford was one of the best parts about this movie. He took over the reins of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in an amazing display. I genuinely don't want to spoil much of anything about his performance, but my God, every scene he was in was great. There was lots of emotion on display, even when he went all big, thick, and red. But I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. In my opinion, the movie wasn't overly comedic, and most of the parts where they were trying to be funny actually landed. But the new Falcon, I have nothing against the actor, but he's kind of annoying in this movie. And the part where he was joking about how nobody saw what he did when he whooped somebody's ass, yeah, that was cringy as hell. It was some Marvel humor. He's right behind me, isn't he type shit. Now, there was somebody that they 100% should have left out of this movie. And I hate that she's in here because it makes Anthony Mackie and all the others who don't believe in what's going on in a certain part of the world at the moment, and for what's been going on for years now, it just makes them look so bad in a way. At very least, that's how they're gonna be viewed, just for working with this woman. I won't play into it too much, but I'll say this. I've seen people online call her Captain Genocide. You probably know what I'm talking about. Really poor timing, motherfucker. You could have done without her. We don't care that she was an ex-widow. It doesn't change the fact that she ain't a hero. Wasted so much time on this character when we could have got more actual Captain America. See, that was another issue I had with this movie. They wasted so much time on some people that didn't matter. God damn, it sounds like I hated this movie. But I swear to God, it was entertaining as hell. Mainly due to the acting performances. Red Hulk. When Ross started to transform, it looked painful as f***. When he turned towards his reflection, one thing that I loved was that he seemed more upset at himself than angry. And something about that I saw people complaining about online was that he didn't seem too destructive and enraged. Listen, the way I see it was like this. He never asked to be the Hulk. He was literally drugged into it by the leader. He finally wanted peace, and he wanted to fight off his old aggressive ways. He wasn't being overly aggressive in Hulk form because he literally did not want to be. I thought they made that clear, but apparently not. When movies get talked down upon, like this movie has been, I feel like everybody after the fact goes into the movie looking for things to be upset about, rather than keeping an open mind and forming your own opinions. Hence why I'm glad I get to see these movies early, cause you know this is how I actually feel. Another thing that hindered the pacing and overall quality, story, and the Captain America aspect of this film was that they used Anthony Mackie's first, and hopefully not last, solo film, if you can even call it that, to set up all the other MCU projects to come. They talk about how he's gonna set up the new Avengers. We see details in this movie that seem to lead us to possibly getting another Hulk movie. They tried to set up what seems to be a storyline about Kang the Conqueror perhaps, but maybe they're gonna try to spin it and say that it's Doom now. It's very confusing. I can see why they want Jonathan Majors back. And the main thing that they set up in this movie was actually mutant related. Like I'm talking X-Men type shit. Because the metal that the Eternals turned that big old Celestial into is formerly known now as adamantium. The same stuff that Stryker put in Wolverine's bones. I'm excited to see what they do with that for real. Now we are less than 3 movies away, I think, before Doom is supposed to show up. And this movie didn't build up to that at all. Not in the after credits or nothing. It makes me very worried for that movie when our big bad hasn't even shown up in any way, shape, or form yet, with such little time to show him off. And lastly, the reshoots may have doomed this movie. You can just tell how a lot of vital scenes were cut, characters were cut, explanations were cut. The original name for this movie was cut. This movie had so many cuts, even the Red Hulk got cut. It's looking like a veterinarian's wrist. And although there was a lot of downsides to this thing, the movie overall was very entertaining. But I can't give it a higher rating than a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Sam solidified himself as Captain America. But so many factors played into this movie not doing as well as it should have. It had a lot of potential, and I don't know who's to blame for this, but it wasn't the actors. Not all of them, anyway. Saber. I really just hope they can do better next time, because there was a lot of potential here. Poor Anthony. Did you watch this movie? If so, what did you think? If you agreed with me or otherwise, let me know in the comments below. Consider joining us on Patreon and Discord so you can talk directly to me daily, as well as gaining access to a bunch of exclusive videos every couple of weeks. You get to game with me and more. The link to join is down below. Come check it out, and I will be seeing you. Take care and peace.
Baby, let me see some. Okay, too bad. Bitches, going both ways. Woo. She gon' do it for these bands. She make it clap like how I do both of my hands. Fuck it up, stick it up.